Hello everybody, this is Senica Harris. I'm coming to you with another video commentary brought to you by the UrbanWire Media Network, where we shine the light on issues impacting the urban community. Today I just wanted to come and do a quick video. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I put out a video last, but I wanted to do a video about some local news that has taken place here in Indianapolis. This particular incident has made national headlines, and for those of you that live in Indianapolis, you know what I'm talking about. Recently, we had a shooting that took place in downtown Indianapolis this past Saturday night, where 6 people were wounded, and it took place outside of the Steak and Shake in downtown Indianapolis. And this was kind of like around the time where during the Colts game was taking place. So you had a lot of people that were in town visiting, it was just a lot of mass hysteria downtown, and it's not making our city look really good right now. Now, currently there is a still shot of one of the people that are an alleged, the alleged shooter is out right now, and they're thinking that it was a group of young people that got into a confrontation. That's how the incident took place. And there were 6 people that were shot, and I believe the ages were between 14 and 61 years of age. And they were saying how it was like 2 or 3 of them that were just bystanders. They were innocent bystanders. Luckily, none of the people that were shot, they were fatally shot. You know, I think some of them have gone home. You know, they've gotten out of the hospital and stuff like that. So I'm glad that nobody was actually killed as a result of this senseless act of violence downtown. So we're going to go to a couple of clips, just kind of putting everything in context. And also, this is kind of like a repeat of what happened back in 2010 during Black Expo, almost like in the same area downtown, pretty much, where there were 10 people that were shot during Black Expo, and it was a group of young people again, you know, and it just goes to show you that the young people here in Indianapolis, we got to get something to do. We got to get something to do something to reach out to these young people. So we're going to go back to these clips. You know, we go to the clip back in 2010, then we're going to go to a clip kind of outlining what happened downtown, and I'm going to come back and give you some more insight about what we know so far. And then we're going to also talk about how this is being politicized. You know, you have, you know, the candidates that are running for Republican and Democrat, and how they're both using this tragic situation to gain support for their party. So we're going to talk about all that, but we're going to go to these clips, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock starts now.
Take a good look at your screen right now. Metro Police are looking for this person of interest after a shooting downtown that injured 6 people on a busy Saturday night. Tonight, police want to find the gunman who opened fire near Maryland and Illinois. That is right by the Steak and Shake and Circle Center Mall. Always a crowded area on weekends. We have team coverage for you tonight at 6 o'clock on the investigation and the people injured. We begin with our Alan Carter, who's live downtown. Alan?
Well, 2 of those victims were taken to the hospital in critical condition. Right now, though, we're still waiting on an update from police to hear about how the rest of those victims are doing. What we do know at this hour, though, is that at least some of them have already been released from the hospital. Again, a total of 6 people were injured here. 3 of them, we're told, are minors. Police tell us that they believe that this started as a fight between 2 groups of juveniles. One person brought out a handgun and started shooting. That was at an area north of here at Washington and Illinois, but bullet went flying down the street, hitting some people that were involved and others that were just bystanders. We got to the scene last night as people were still running, others being treated by paramedics. A chaotic, and for the people stuck in the middle, a frightening situation.
I was hyperventilating, running, and unable to speak, so it was terrifying. Yeah, it's like the scariest experience.
I don't believe this is a mass shooting type situation. What this is, you know, unacceptable. It's unacceptable for downtown.
And again, here is another look at the person police are looking for. They are calling him a person of interest. This image is a little blurry, but they hope that there is someone that can identify him, enough identifying details that they can figure out who this is. You can call Indianapolis police or Crime Stoppers with any information. Reporting live downtown, Alan Carter, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, definitely hoping someone recognizes that surveillance picture. Alan, thank you. Last night, unfortunately, not the first shooting downtown this year. Back in May, 4 people were shot near Illinois and Maryland streets. Then 2 judges from southern Indiana were shot outside the White Castle near Lucas Oil Stadium. One of them just pleaded guilty for his part in a fight, which led to that shooting. Well, the violence last night, very concerning for people who live or visit Indianapolis. Our Sarah Jones joins us live now with how they're feeling after that danger downtown. Sarah?
Jenny, we're on the corner of Maryland and Illinois, and many residents we spoke to said they were unaware of last night's shooting, but they were shocked to learn that 6 people were shot right here in this area downtown.
Hearing that people are getting shot, it'd probably prevent me from coming more than frequently. I stopped going to Broad Ripple more than often because people were getting shot in Broad Ripple.
I'm more aware that, anything can happen and that, violence can happen anytime. And just because I'm a college student doesn't mean it can't happen to me.
My husband works down here, and when I heard about it, it scared me knowing that this was going on because of everybody that does work down here that works late nights. It's really scary.
But night, it's just like, I don't know what's going to go down. I need to get right to my room and pray.
We had an unfortunate issue last night. Unfortunate, but it does happen. But I still let my son ride his bike through downtown.
Because of the Colts game, a lot of people we spoke to were visiting Indy, some for the first time, and they say, sadly, this is the world we live in, that regardless of whether you're visiting or a resident, it's important to remain vigilant and be aware of your surroundings, especially at night. Jenny?
Indianapolis police are trying to figure out what led to a string of shootings that left 10 people injured. The first round of gunfire erupted Saturday night during a popular business and entertainment festival.
A very unfortunate situation. Yesterday was a great day. We had no problems, and tonight was going just fantastic.
Police say hundreds were gathered outside a downtown mall when 8 people were shot. One of those injured is just 10 years old.
The concert was just letting out, and there's only a few people that want to come down here and create our problems. We're asking if anybody observed anything to contact homicide.
According to WRTV, moments after the convention center shootout, a 16-year-old boy was found nearby with bullets in both of his legs. Another teen, shot around 11:30, suffered similar injuries. Authorities say all 10 victims were taken to local hospitals and are listed in good condition. Investigators are looking into the possibility that the shootings were gang-related. Tim McGuire, The Associated Press.
All right, we're back. Like I said before we went to those clips, there were a couple of teens that were involved that they believe that were involved with the shooting, one of which is a 16-year-old that they believe was involved in the altercation. And there's also a 30-year-old that was shot in the abdomen, and there was a 61-year-old that was wounded as well. Now, with this tragic situation, there's always people that are trying to politicize things. Jim Merritt, who is running for the Republican mayoral seat for Indianapolis, he had a lot to say about the situation, and we're going to go to those comments really quick. Republican candidate Jim Merritt stated, "If I were mayor last night, there would have been officers everywhere," said Merritt, an Indiana state senator. "That is not the Indianapolis we want." Heather Sager, Hogsett's campaign spokeswoman, said the shooting was not a partisan or political situation. "Last night's shooting is a tragic example of thoughtless, violent conduct that has no place in our city," Sager said in a statement. "But it also reveals how important it is that work continues to address the root causes of such senseless acts, which far too often appear far away in time and place from the moment a trigger is pulled." Now, for those of you that aren't from Indianapolis, Rick Snyder is the president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, which they abbreviated and call it the FOP. He took issue with Sager's comments. Now, Sager, like I said, she is the spokesperson for Hogsett, and he pretty much made a Twitter post stating, we're grateful for our Indy police officers who continue to run towards the shots fired and risk their lives while others sit the sidelines and pontificate on the root causes of the violence faced nightly by our residents, visitors, and officers, Snyder said Sunday on Twitter. All right, we're back. In retrospect, just looking at all this information that has came out the past couple of days, it's just really sad that Indianapolis is really getting to the point where people are no longer safe even going downtown having a good time without foolishness and drama taking place. You know, our young people are just going wild. They're going crazy. They're down here shooting and fighting. They have no regards to anyone's life, anybody's well-being. And I really blame the parents, because you don't have any control over your kids. You don't teach them right from wrong. And then when they go out amongst society, they're becoming a menace to society, and they're putting everybody else in jeopardy. This is not a good look for our city, and this is not a good look for the people that live here. Like, it's really sad that people can't even go out and have a good time. Like I said, this is something that's been going on. Like the second clip I showed you, this happened back in 2010, where there were, I think it was 8 to 10 people that were shot downtown doing the Black Expo, which that is supposed to be a positive event that showcases our community and our culture. But yet you have people like that, these young people that don't have any respect or any morals or any boundaries, how they can go out here and make the whole community look bad. So we really have to begin to reach these young people. We have to be better role models for these young people, and we have to come up with ways to where we can just curb this violence, because at this point, innocent people are becoming victims to these senseless and random acts of violence, and we really have to stop this. You know, it's not a good look, like I said, for our city. And the thing that bothers me is these politicians, they get on these platforms and they always want to go to all these different churches and go to, make all these TV appearances during, election season, but we don't really see them out here doing the work once they get into office. And then they want to sit up here and politicize this stuff. You have this Republican candidate thinking that he's going to come in here and do something. I said, where have you been at this entire time where all this stuff's been going on? But now you want to be vocal, now you want to be present, but I've never seen you before, I never heard of you, but yet you want to come out here and you have so much to say about how this city's being ran and what you would do. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it's very sickening that people are now taking advantage of this unfortunate situation. I'm really hoping that they find the perpetrator. Like the news clip said, they have a clip out. If anybody knows who this person is, you know what I'm saying? We got to get out this culture where, oh yeah, if we tell on somebody, it's snitching. Well, I'm going to tell you this. If it was your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your grandmother out there, and they would have gotten shot or gotten killed, you would want somebody to step up and be a man and woman about theirs and speak up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take all of us to come together, because while the criminals are running amok, it's everyday hard-working taxpayers. We're the ones that's paying for this. You know what I'm saying? These people don't have no respect for the community. They don't have no regards for life. And we feel like having some code of silence is just going to magically sweep these people under the rug or sweep them away. And it's not going to happen like that. So I hope that they really catch this person that is responsible for this, because we have no space for this. You know, this city has gotten progressively more violent. And I'm going to go to some statistics really quick. As of 2017, Indianapolis was rated, they were rated in the top 20 for the most violent cities in America. So we can go to these clips really quick, these couple screenshots. This is from CBS News, and we're going to go to this data, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. According to a news article written by CBS News, Indianapolis, Indiana was ranked 12 as one of the most violent cities in United States. The violent crime rate in Indianapolis is 1,334 per 100,000 residents. In 2017, 156 people in the city were murdered. So as you can see, based upon those statistics, we definitely have a problem with crime in this city, and it's going to take all of us to come together and put a stop to this. We can't just leave it up to the police officers. We can't leave it up to the politicians, which they definitely play a huge part of this. But we as a community, we have to get out here and take pride in our communities. We have to start teaching these young people, investing in these young people, and giving them options. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense that we got all these churches in the city. We got churches on every corner, and they're not opening up their doors. They're not coming together. They're not strategizing, but they can take your money each week and they can rob the people blind, but they're not coming together to get these kids off these streets, teach them a better way, educate them, and get them trained up in a way to where they ain't out here, keep them busy so they ain't out here acting a darn fool. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that it's going to take people outside of the home to reach these people, because a lot of these kids are coming from dysfunctional homes. And there's so much stuff going on in these homes that it's just unimaginable what these children are going through. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones that's out here doing this because we don't have any incentives for them to stay on the straight and narrow. We don't show them that there's a better way. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to really take all of us coming together and claiming back our streets, claiming back our neighborhoods. We got to take pride in our neighborhoods. We have to pick up the trash in our neighborhood. We got to make sure our neighborhoods are presentable. We have to start promoting businesses. We have to start promoting entrepreneurship, and we have to come together as a cohesive unit. You know what I'm saying? We have to. We can't leave it up to the politicians, because you know, we leave it up to them, we're going to be waiting forever, because the only time they want to come and show up is when election season is here. They talk all this, what they're going to do for the community, and, it's a bunch of mudslinging back and forth between the Democrats and Republicans, and nothing gets done. So I really urge people, we have to do our part. I just think it's a shame that the only time that we're on the map is when there's some foolishness. Like we're always in national news when there's some foolishness going on. And I think we have to change that culture here in Indianapolis. We have a lot to offer, and if we didn't, we wouldn't have so many people moving here all the time. It's a great city, regardless of the stuff that goes on. And I'm still a firm believer. Most of the time when people get caught up or in the crossfires and stuff, 9 times out of 10, it's always some freak instances where you just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But most of the time when people are caught up in crime, it's because they're into some stuff that they don't have no business being into. And I feel that this city is relatively safe as long as you stay, on the straight and narrows and keep your nose out of, illegal activity. I feel that this is a good city. But like I said, there's always those instances where you could be caught up in the crossfire or something. You can be an innocent bystander, and we just can't have that culture here. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of people from different places. People come here for many opportunities. Like we have really good education here. We have really good neighborhoods. We have, it's a lot that's being done to Indianapolis to kind of rebuild and revitalize this, this city and this community as a whole. And with that, sometimes you have a lot of people that are moving from other cities. Like we have a lot of people that are moving from Gary and Chicago, and I'm not saying everybody from Gary and Chicago is causing the crime rate to elevate in this city, but we got to be honest, a lot of people are running these people out of their cities, and they're coming here to Indianapolis, and they're bringing that crime and that negative mentality with them, and with that we see a spike in crime and everything else. And it's kind of putting everybody else that's trying to, move here to better their lives, it's putting them in a precarious, situation, because now people are looking at them. I said, well, you're part of the problem, and they're starting to bunch and label everybody else that is moving from these regions as troublemakers. So we got a lot of work to do. Indianapolis wants to be this world-class city. They want to be that city that hosts all these events, and they want to be a center of culture and arts. But you have to realize with that comes a lot of negative side effects too. So we're going to have to come up with a solution to where we can curb this crime and make it safe for people that are residents and visitors to, where they can just come and have a good time in downtown Indianapolis. If anywhere else, they should be able to come downtown, have a good time, go out and socialize, go to sporting events, just be out with the family and not have to worry about that. So I just want you guys to let me know, what do you guys feel about this situation? Do you feel that Indianapolis has really gotten to a point to where they're beyond, it's beyond return? Like, there's nothing that we can really do. For those of you who grew up in Indianapolis, like I remember a time when you really didn't hear about this stuff happening here. And I'm not saying that it can't happen anywhere, because like the young man said in that clip, everybody can be affected by this. It's not just a certain group of people or a certain demographic, and we have to get out of that mindset. But I just know that, we've always had crime here, but it's never been to this magnitude. In the past 7-8 years, it's just really gotten out of control. And I kind of feel that the leadership, they have to put their heads together, while you're working on trying to revitalize the city and trying to fix up the city. We have to worry about the crime aspect as well. So we have to bring economic development to these neighborhoods. We have to push entrepreneurship. We have to get people educated. Entrepreneurship ain't for everybody, but we have to get people educated, give them options, give these young people options, because if they're out here running wild because they don't have any options, that's what you just gonna get. So until next time, y'all, get in those comments, tell me what you think about the whole situation, and we will catch you on the next video.